Yes guys, how are we doing? Welcome to show 346. Today we're going to be talking about the just one more mentality, okay? And how it can help you grow into 2023. Okay, let's crack on. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman. And if you are coming through, then please do let me know by hitting the love heart button. And please do comment down below about what the best part of your week has been. So almost a little bit of self-reflection. What is the best part? I'm not interested in what the worst part was. What was the best part? And focusing on the good things is what builds us up, right? We don't want to be focusing on all the negatives. Cool. All right. So listen, just a little reminder before we get into this training that on Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be running an online workshop around 40 minutes, 45 minutes on 4 steps. So these are 4 actionable steps to lead yourself into 2023. Okay, these steps are, for me, going to be the foundations of what you would consider success for anyone coming into our world, for anyone that's in our world. These are the 4 steps that I'm going to be pushing really hard leading up, okay, up to the end of the year and into the new year. All right, so we're going to be doing that training. It will be available. It will be emailed out on Monday if you're working or out with family. Cool, let's get in. So this is going to be a short, sharp one this morning. So I want to talk about just the one more mentality. Now, this can be seen as a positive thing. This can be seen as a negative thing. Now, in a negative way, we can sometimes have this mentality if, right, we are out having a few drinks with the boys. Just one more beer before we go home. And that one more beer just leads to another 3-4 hours actually down the pub, right? Or I just have one more cigarette. And that one more cigarette leads to then chain smoking. So it's not, or another bad one actually, is just one more hour in the office and then I'll go home. So when you look at that just one more mentality, it can really take us down the wrong path. It can really take us down the wrong path, right? Because we can have that mindset, we can have that attitude, we can have that like non-negotiable mindset inside of our head. But it can also work in our favour, right? It can also work in our favour. Because if we start getting into the habit and the mentality of doing this in a positive light, it's where things really start to change, and it's where you start stretching your limitations and what you're capable of. So for example, if you're in the gym and you're doing reps and you're on that last bench press and you're trying to push that bench press and you get it done, you go, man, just one more. And in your mind you think, I can't do it. But if you just got it done, and there's someone there obviously to help spot you on that last one, and you can just squeeze it out, man, that last rep feels incredible. Feels incredible, right? You can do it in other areas. You can do it when it comes to running. So if you're running and you just go, man, I'm just going to do one more mile. I'm going to take the harder route and I'm just going to go around here. I'm going to go up that hill and I'm going to add an extra mile. Just one more mile. It might be that if you're writing a book, and I often did this when I wrote my first 2 books. I'd write 500 words and I'd go, just another 250 words. Just another 250. And when we have this mentality, it's very similar to the 1% a day mentality. You might recognize it, right? It's just going that 1% more than you normally would. Over and over again. Just going to push a little bit more. I'm just going to get it up a little bit earlier. I'm just going to write a little bit more in my journal. I'm just going to take a little bit more time for myself. Can you see how that pattern works, right? So it works in a negative sense if we allow it to. It can take us down the wrong path. But when we're building and we're growing and we're trying to improve ourselves, man, it is powerful. Because if you do that throughout a year and you go just one more for a year, the difference could be huge in terms of your growth, in terms of your fitness, in terms of your mental and emotional and physical conditioning. Because if you think about a stretch, let's say that's your year here, you could get to here by doing well, but you could get to here by pushing a little bit more every single day. And it doesn't have to be in every area of life. It doesn't have to be in every area of life. It could just be in one particular area at a time. You don't have to put yourself under huge amounts of pressure to make this work. You know, just spending that little bit more attention to your wife, just spending that little bit more attention, being a little bit more present with your kids. Does that make sense? And you're just going a little bit above and beyond. And I think that sometimes we have the mentality that it has to be huge. I have to go way above expectations. I have to go way beyond it. And then you put yourself under pressure, then you're overthinking it. Whereas in everyday life, when you're in that situation, go, I'm just gonna pay a little bit more attention to my wife before I go off and do whatever it is that I'm gonna do. And it's really, really important to do that. And that's pretty much it for this morning, guys. It has to be a short one. I have got loads to do this morning, so I just want to say thank you so much for everybody watching and turning up. It's absolutely brilliant to have you all. Next week, I'm going to be putting out all of the 3 coaching sessions that we'll be talking about on the Sunday via email and our ManyChat. But just to say, I'm super grateful that everybody's tuning in and that we're building up the show. It's really great. I did this show for, when I first started, I did it for 6 months, guys. And I just used to talk to myself. No one was ever on watching. And obviously 5:30 is quite an ask for people to get up and watch. And, I think we've got like 30 odd people here watching every single morning. And I know there's regulars, and I know there's people that come in and out, and I know there's people that just watch us back. And I always put this show up here to set the standard for you, just to go, do you know what, actually, just one more. If I could just get up maybe 20 minutes early, I could watch that show and it set me up mentally and emotionally to go for the day. Anyway, I hope you have an amazing weekend. If you're joining me on Sunday morning, I will see you for the online workshop. If not, I will see you next Monday. We have something amazing coming next week. This is really specifically for those people that are not a part of our world and have been thinking about being a part of our world. On Monday, I'm putting out the best offer that I have ever put out since I started this business, ever. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Have a great weekend. See you soon.